going with tonight's show, let's tell you about Mark Nimitz. I just saw he tweeted out today. By the way, he's a title sponsor. So if you're shopping for auto, home renters, or life insurance in San Diego, he's a huge Padres fan. He's a San Diegan. Here's a New Year's resolution. If you're looking to switch insurance, switch to Mark. Support the wrap-up show in 2022. If you own an electric vehicle, he can help you save money. I saw he tweeted today. You can save $441 next year with him. So who couldn't use the extra $40 in their pocket every single month next year? Please consider Mark. His description is down below, or a link to his site is in the description down below. He's got great customer service and communication. He really does. You'll find that out when you call or when you email him. He's been doing this for over a decade. He can help save you money. If you like our show, if you support what we're doing, we wouldn't be able to do this without Mark. So we ask that you consider Mark. Again, his link is down below in the description, Jim.
All information, as always, above my head. Phone number and email address. It's agent.com.
All right, you're a little glitchy, Jim.
I apologize. I know. I'm sorry.
We'll get you. We'll get you going.
My computer's drunk.
So are you with the Moscow Mule. All right, let's start here. Let's start here tonight. What's your Padres 2022 New Year's resolution? We're asking the chat. Jim, we can talk about this, and then we can get to some of the comments. Again, if you want to do the super chat, we'll definitely get your comment here tonight. What's your 2022 Padres New Year's resolution? The floor is yours, Jim. What do you say?
First off, my New Year's resolution for the Padres is stay healthy. Like, especially Fernando Tatis Jr. Make sure that shoulder stays in, no subluxations, no IL stints, and if you have to miss a couple games, it's because you have some nicks and bruises. But please, 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 my New Year's resolution, stay healthy. At least the majority of the main guys. Most of the pitching, like every team gets injured. It's inevitable, right? It's the Thanos of everything. Is I'm inevitable. Injuries are inevitable. You didn't get that reference, and that's okay. But
I don't get it. I don't think.
As long as this team stays healthy, relatively, I feel like they're going to be pretty good next year.
I'll say I'm going to start with a pretty specific resolution that we've talked about a little bit over, I'd say, the last month. I say it hinges on Mike Clevenger's health. I'm not saying the entire season. I'm not saying the difference between winning a World Series or not, although you never know. I'll say this. If he makes 25 starts next year, I feel really good. Now, maybe that's asking for a lot, but if you get 25 starts out of Mike Clevenger, knowing you've got the Darvishes and the Snells and the Musgroves, and we'll see what else, the Paddocks and who knows, Adrian Morejon maybe in the second half of the year. I'm probably missing someone as well. Who they signed from Japan the last day, and then it was like a signing that didn't happen. Nick Martinez,
I think. If we're
whoever
wrong,
they signed,
put it in the chat. I think if it's Nick Martinez.
But I think it's Mike Clevenger. I mean, give me 25 starts. Give me 125, 130 innings. I know it might sound like a lot, but I'm telling you, that could be the difference between winning 95 games and winning 85 games, right? Because he's going to provide you some depth in the rotation, which will help out the bullpen, which was really taxed the second half last year. So my resolution is based on that 2-year signing they made. Remember the tweet? Hey, we've signed Mike Clevenger to a two-year deal. Oh, by the way, he's out 2021 with Tommy John. If he can just make 25 starts, average 5 innings a start, and then be available and healthy in the postseason for you, I just think that would be such a huge benefit for the Padres in 2022. I feel like I could ask for more than just Mike Clevenger's health in 2022, but I'm going to start there. A guy that has been an ace at one point in his career, if he pitches anything like that, anything like that in 2022, I think the Padres have a big bounce back.
Yeah, it's not that everything hinges on his health, but if he's healthy, then this team's success rate will go way up. Like the percentage chance of them getting to the postseason will definitely skyrocket, because if you have a 1, 2, 3, 4 of Darvish, Snell, Musgrove, and a healthy Clevenger for all of the year, and none of them have any major injuries, you're not having to worry about signing guys like Vince Velasquez and Jake Arrietas and throwing spot starts to randos. Like, you're only going to have worry about one spot in your rotation, maybe 2, and that's much easier to manage if you have 4 solid guys making a start every 5th day. So I'm with you there. I think my other resolution.
Yeah, give me one more.
Another New Year's resolution for me, and I saw this in the chat. It's Manny Machado. Yes, Blake Snell's, pitching well too. But if Manny Machado has an MVP type of season, this team is 100% going to the postseason. I think what we saw in 2020, albeit only 60 games, he finished third in the MVP. He took over the last month and a half of that season and not carried them to the postseason, but was the guy. He was one of the most feared hitters in all of baseball in 2020 down the stretch. And you saw what it did for this team. Tatis is the spark plug. Machado, he's the engine. He's the guy. If he is playing at an MVP level, it just makes things so much easier for the team. Machado, for me, being an MVP candidate, that would be.
All right, I'm going to give you one because you're glitching a little bit. And
Sorry.
mine is Jake Cronenworth. Can he follow it up with another really excellent year, all-star caliber year? Because we saw it in the 60-game season, then we saw what he did this past year. Can Jake Cronenworth potentially do it moving positions? And what I mean by that is, could he be playing first base potentially for the Padres in 2022 if they do ultimately move Eric Hosmer, or if Eric Hosmer is a platoon? Is Jake Cronenworth potentially playing more first base? I want to see him follow it up. I mean, I think he's become one of the better infielders in the National League. I think if he puts together a similar season again in 2022, then look out, because Trent Grisham should be better than he was in 2021. Will Myers hopefully is as good, if not better, in 2022. Shoot, Eric Hosmer, if he's here, should be as good, if not better, in 2022. I mean, if Cronenworth can give you that 25 to 30 home run season again with those clutch hits, that good defense, if he can be versatile and play first base as well, I think it goes a long way. So, I'm asking for Clevenger to give us 25 starts. I'm asking for another all-star caliber year out of Jake Cronenworth. And, if those things happen, then again, I think a lot of people feel pretty good about where the Padres are a year from right now.
And I really do think that this team will win 90-plus games this year, even if they bring back most or majority of their roster. I don't think they're going to be making any major changes before the start of next season. But I think with some tweaks, a couple trades, a couple signings, kind of, sharpening out the edges here, sharpening out the edges. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
But making it so they don't have to go out and sign like a Vince Velasquez or Jake Arrieta's, and they're like, they have nobody in the minors to bring up. As long as they don't have to do that for a majority of the year, because last year it seemed like as soon as August 1st hit, it was like, okay, we have no pitching, our bullpen's taxed, injury after injury after injury. Nobody's coming up from the minors to help us. Where's Mackenzie Gore? These players are falling off a cliff. It just wasn't enough. So I think they stabilized what they need to stabilize with the manager and the coaching staff. I think that was the number one thing they had to do this offseason. They accomplished that in a big way. If fans are looking for a big signing, I think that already happened with Bob Melvin. I don't think, even though we want Nick Castellanos or we want Seiya Suzuki or Chris Bryant, do I think that's realistic? Like would I give that a better than 50% chance of happening? Probably not. Not saying that I don't want it to happen, but if I'm looking at this objectively and realistically, I don't think it is, just because of their payroll. So the big signing, if Padres fans are wondering where it is this offseason, it was Bob Melvin.